And because we refuse to accept that faceless men can take decisions that devastate our livelihoods with impunity.
When Jimmy Reid spoke, people listened. But he was more than just a great orator. He was a man whose inspirational leadership and steely determination touched the lives of thousands of Glasgow shipbuilders. Reid's ideals were forged in the shadows of the shipyards, here on the streets of Govan. He left school at 14, and it wasn't long before that famous revolutionary spirit surfaced.
Throughout his life, Jimmy was interested in human beings, and therefore the poverty of Govan in the west of Scotland when he was growing up very much influenced his political direction.
In the early 50s, the Glasgow shipyards, ravaged by war and facing competition from the new shipbuilding nations, were on the brink of a slow decline. It was around this time that a 19-year-old Reid led his first strike. Before long, he'd become a member of the Young Communist League.
He seemed to be a natural leader. He ended up leading what was virtually a national strike of engineering apprentices. So his talent was spotted early.
He started his apprentice as an engineer in Polar Engines, and he's seen the injustices in Govan, and he's seen the difference in wealth, and he wanted to rebalance that.
In 1971, Reid faced the challenge which would define his career. The Upper Clyde shipbuilders, where he was a shop steward, entered receivership. Edward Heath's government refused to sanction a potentially life-saving £6 million loan. With thousands of jobs at stake, something had to be done to change Heath's mind.
So pack your tools and go.
But Reid's answer wasn't to down tools or even to march in protest. It was to gather the workers and ask them to do one simple thing: continue to work. Reid's aim was to prove to the government that the yard was economically viable.
And there will be no hooliganism, there will be no vandalism, there will be no bevying, because the world is watching us.
The workers in the Upper Clyde shipyards were very determined, and a lot of that was down to Jimmy's amazing powers of communication and leadership.
It was a truly inspirational move. This carried support across society. A youngster at school like myself was fully behind the working.
Celebrities were moved by the shipbuilders' plight too. Billy Connolly lent his weight to the cause, and John Lennon even donated £5,000. It was only a matter of time before Reid's tactics paid off, and in February 1972, Heath backed down and announced a £35 million injection into 3 of the yards.
It was like the unjust being overturned, being right in your arguments and protecting the communities. And what we had done is we had defeated an ideology.
There's no doubt that every single person who's worked in the shipyards owes their job to Jimmy Reid and his colleagues. I think it was a demonstration that commitment, that organisation, that collective will can actually have an impact.
For all his political influence, even Jimmy Reid couldn't completely reverse the decline of Glasgow's shipbuilding industry. Today the Clyde is home to just 3 yards, 2 of which were saved by Jimmy Reid's actions.
Jimmy Reid had proved, and the lads in the shipyards had proved, that you aren't a statistic. You can change government's view and you can do something about it. And if that's a legacy of Jimmy Reid, then that's it.